And our newspaper reviewer, Chukwudi Abuja, is seated here in the studio. Good morning, Chooks.
Good morning, Jumai. How are you today?
I'm fine.
And you, Ere, how good they go?
Very well.
Mrs.
Good to see you.
Same here. Let's go.
Let's go. We have some papers to review this morning, and I'll begin with this Nigeria. And on this Nigeria, just beside the nameplate, EFCC declares Timipre Silva wanted over $14.8 million fraud. Find the details on page 22. And the headlines: land grabbing, illegal mining, others fueling insecurity. That's coming from the presidency with riders. Tinubu gets zonal security briefs and promises to strengthen peace structure. Details on page 4. At the side piece of the picture story, leaders demand recovery, burial of Ogonifo remains. Details on page 12. And UNN VC others pray court to reject ex-ministers Naji's suit. Find the details on page 10. At the bottom plate of this Nigeria, NAF neutralizes terrorists in precision airstrikes across northern Nigeria. You find details on page 17, and it has a rider as Navy rescues 10 crew members from distressed vessel. And you can see the picture story there. Director of Information and Public Relations, IPR, National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Ms. Caroline Mbu, Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, and the Director of Media, NYSC, Emeka Magbemina, during the NYSC 2025 combined IPR Protocol Media and FOI Officers Workshop that held in Abuja. Now let's quickly go to the Blueprint newspaper. And on the Blueprint newspaper, above the masthead, NACON reduces Hajj fare, cancels slot allocation to states. You find the details in the paper. And the headlines, I have read it already. NAF airstrikes kill ISWAP terrorists in Borno with riders, destroy bandits handouts in Katsina, Kwara. Troops rescue 86 victims, arrest 29 terror suspects in Borno. And Remi Tinubu, can youth reject U.S. claims on targeted killings? That's just below the picture story you see there. And that's on page 8. At the bottom plate, ex-President Shagari's wife dies at 89. Find details on page 4. UBA sponsors Lagos Fair for 7th consecutive year. Details on page 19. And BBC chiefs resign for wrongfully editing Trump documentary scandal. Find that on page 43. And at bottom plate, how aviation can help achieve Nigeria's 1 trillion economy. That's coming from an airline chief. You want to know who? Find it all inside the paper. Nyeri?
All right, so let's see the leadership now. The leadership leads with marketers blame supply hiccups as cooking gas prices surge again. Details on page 4 of the leadership newspaper. And above that, alleged $14.8 million fraud. Anti-Graft Commission declares ex-minister Silva wanted. All right, all of that in the leadership right here. Looking below the picture story, we have bandits abduct 4 nursing mothers, rustle 50 cows in Kano community. Looking above the masthead, People's Democratic Party crisis. Wike's camp reports Oyo judge to Judicial Council. You want to find out why? A copy of the leadership will do you good. And just next to that, we have civil service to go fully paperless by December 31. That's according to the federal government. Looking at other stories, just by the side of the picture story this morning on the front page of the leadership, we have scores killed in Boko Haram Israel clash. That seems to be on all the papers this morning. Commission slashes 2026 hard fares is also right here. This one says Nigeria's democracy threatened by electoral fraud, apathy. Ex-Governor Dixon Amechi, ex-governors Dixon and Amechi are speaking there, and I particularly reserved this headline for the last, and I hope Chikudu respond to this. This one says, conjure the gods to end insecurity, Uzodinma tells traditional rulers. And my question is, did the gods cause insecurity in the first place? Chikudi.
The gods were not able to resist the white man's, plunder of Africa at the end of the day. Witches and wizards did not hold them. Look, Africa should wake up from some of these things and live in the modern world. I'm not saying that there are no principalities and powers, as one of the holy books, but there are limits to what the gods can do. If they are still there, that is. Look, let me start from our backyard. You know, the BBC teaches me journalism. That's my first port of call, whether it's storytelling, whether it's, trying to speak well and all that. So I have a passion for them. Tim Davie has resigned with his head of news because of the documentary which they felt was fraudulent. Two sound bites from two different, areas were fused as if they came as one stream of a sound bite from Donald Trump. Remember the Capitol Hill uprising, or whatever one will call it. So they said it was fraudulent. What I like about them is that when they goof, they tell you we have goofed. The BBC is not government-owned.
No, it's
It
not.
is not a commercial station.
It's
a board
not.
of trustees runs it. So that independence they have lets them do what they want to do within professional. That is why I keep on telling our people here that till we return to professionalism, nothing is going to work.
Nothing.
It's not one owner of one station stage managing things from the backyard. It's not going to work. At the end of the day, content will suffer. BBC content now seems to have put it in trouble. I pray they wriggle out of it because I love them. I'm not going to deny that.
No, but I think that this particular action goes beyond just those in the journalism profession.
Yes.
It's for everyone in whatever space that you operate.
Yes.
Taking responsibility for your action. So if there's a mistake and you're in charge of that responsibility, just own up to it and give way for those who are more competent to do the job. It's simple.
I don't think competence comes into that.
Oh, well.
It was a mistake.
No,
It's been there for
no. There's this English saying that Homer sometimes nods. Homer wrote the Iliad,
Yes.
a great English writer, but they will tell you that sometimes he too nodded. That means he slept off even with a pen in his hand. It means that the best makes mistakes.
The best makes mistakes, yes.
Human error is not going to be removed from anything. If it happens and makes planes crash, it's going to happen to about fusing sound bites.
But the message is taking responsibility and giving way.
Thank you.
Yes. He took responsibility.
Taking responsibility, my dear.
Yeah, taking responsibility.
My dear
yes.
Mrs. John, please, I have to put Mrs. John there so Mr. John doesn't think that my dear,
He took responsibility.
goes beyond
He
the
took
studio
responsibility.
showings.
Yeah.
They took responsibility. People will tell you, let's behave like white man, black man. We are black people and all that. They're even now talking about homegrown democracy. I started hearing that from Walter Fonagoro time. I didn't quite understand it when I visited his office and he said that. I was looking at homegrown democracy. Democracy is about transparency. It's about electing on a truly democratic platform those who want to. It's about transparency, everything.
It is.
So which one you want to grow for home and all that? Look, Africa should leave me alone, I beg.
They will tell you it's an African thing
the-
because some of the headlines and some things we see in the Nigerian
Homegrown
media,
democracy.
they will not resign, even if it,
The homegrown, by the way, involve the gods.
What is it
Not like
about
we saw.
democracy that is not about good governance at the end of the day? Being accountable to the people. Africa. Me are tired. Cooking gas.
that
It's
one again.
returning. It's returning. Oh, yes. I hear there are places where 1 kilogram went for up to 1,700.
700.
It hit 2,000 about 3 weeks ago, one month ago, when there was real scarcity. 12.5 kg went for as much as 25,000 at a point.
25,000, yes.
You bought 19
yes,
later.
19, yeah.
I remember you
Yes.
saying that on the air.
I'm always worried when things like that continue to go up because of climate change and which we...
Exactly.
We're trying to fight climate change and
Climate
we're
change.
a gas-producing country, for
Thank
God's
you.
sake.
There are two things. It's all about the environment.
Yes.
Climate change, gas offers clean energy.
Gee.
Clean
We're
energy.
a gas-producing
It's not
nation,
a fossil
and
fuel.
gas is in abundance in this country.
Thank
and
you
I
so
wonder
much.
why we're.
Then again, what
so
are you doing to our trees in the forest? Because yesterday I told Nkechi, you were not supposed to cook that thing on gas.
Yes.
I hear rumors again.
That
The
gas
charcoal is
yes.
still there at backyard. Why didn't you use it?
In fact, I can count 2 people this morning who have told me that they will go back to charcoal. So just imagine.
Look, my dear, I don't know if you come here to pretend to. All this dengue, I don't believe in it. Let Nigerians truly express how we live our lives. That is why I accuse reporters of not reporting the real story. It's about people, lifestyle.
Yes.
So we have to go back to all that.
Things are not easy.
Things are not easy.
Things are not easy.
But at the end of the day, the energy policy of the federal government is enhanced a lot by the Dangote intervention.
Yes.
Dangote, I hear they are teaming up with some partners for fertilizer production. I think it's what's the group called now? Hisson Ude Group. Fertilizer Limited. It's for fluid bed granulation technology. 4 new urea granulation units are being established in Lagos. That takes care of fertilizer. Remember, he commissioned in early 2025 the polypropylene plant, a type of plastic producing.
Is fertilizer cheap? Is fertilizer cheap?
No, that is the point I'm making. By the time that production capacity comes on our soil, you'll see that it's going to take down prices. That's actually where I was headed. It's not cheap at the moment, and that's not fair to the farmer, because food prices indeed are crashing. But the farming inputs, the prices are up there. So at the end of the day, the farmer is left holding the short end of the stick.
Yes,
That's
yes.
not good enough.
With insecurity, I don't see people going into the bush to go and get firewood now, because...
So they should die of hunger.
That is the problem. Because the firewood that they need to harvest...
I agree with you.
It's a simple thing.
The thing is, people
when you uproot a tree, you plant another one. It's simple and easy. Some of these plants don't even need rain. They grow up.
When did you hear about tree planting? A real strength.
When you fell a tree,
the First Lady is spearheading that initiative at the moment.
I pray that God gives her the strength. I admire her. Not just for her simplicity, but for her straightforwardness about these things.
No, but talking about charcoal being unavailable, I don't think that's likely going to happen, because people will find a way to fell the trees and they will find a way to get it. What will happen is the prices may just go up a bit.
Well, in places like Borno and where it's far inside the bush, they just can't go there.
No, you have
they
a point.
They can't go. Insecurity
you have
is
a
there.
point.
They can't
you
go
have a
there.
point.
They can't go there.
There could actually be hunger arising from lack of fuel, because firewood is fuel. Lack of fuel to cook what you want to eat. Not that the food stuff isn't there.
I hope it doesn't get to that point.
It's unfortunate.
All right, former governors are speaking. They're saying Nigeria's democracy threatened by electoral fraud, apathy.
What's the meaning of that? You've confused me. Bilateral fraud, apathy.
Electoral fraud.
Electoral.
Yes, electoral fraud and apathy.
Yes. What is hindering it?
They say that's what is hindering our democracy.
Who is saying that?
Former governors.
Former governors. They are former governors are politicians, or they were politicians.
Yeah, you need to sign him so that I can go before he puts us in problem.
Take it with a pinch of salt. The person where they cry thief, 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 look well, whether not being support the thief or himself be the thief. Politicians, when they talk, take it with a pinch of salt.
Many thanks, Jokide.
I've not come here to
bye-bye.
Deprecate.
By the way, have you seen Timi Praise Silva? He's been declared wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you find him.
I know 3 former governors who were declared wanted, and go on, please.
Many thanks, Jokide. Have a great day. Hope to see you tomorrow.
You too.
We'll take a break. When we come back from